Hi, I work with high-achieving professionals to help them offload survival stress response from their nervous system and the mind and achieve sustainable success and growth in their careers. And specifically, I work with chronic stress response, which is also called survival stress response. There are different representations of chronic stress response in different individuals. It's a highly unique picture. That's why I prepare a stress diagnostic, first of all, and then depending on the stress map and stress diagnostic, we specifically target those stress cycles within the mind and the body to help my clients offload the survival stress response and get out of the trigger reactive cycle. So chronic stress is a disease. It's not a symptom. It has an array of symptoms. Some people experience it mainly within the body. Some people experience mainly emotional aspects of it. Some people, is what they say, experience mental, like so-called self-doubt, critical voice, negative thought loops. So the representation of chronic stress is quite wide, quite unique. I do not look at it as a vague picture. I look at it as very specific, detailed, nuanced picture of every client, which I assess through initial diagnostic, and then we specifically target those stress mechanisms within each individual client. Yeah, so that is chronic stress, right? Now, chronic stress affects your career. And here's a question I got. How does chronic stress affect my career? Chronic stress creates, one of the things is it creates ongoing muscle tension, and it sends distress signal to the brain, keeping your nervous system in a fight or flight state, which I call survival stress response. And over time, it affects clarity, confidence, and ability to regulate emotions. These are key qualities for leadership and performance and career growth. So when we address both the physical and mental level of chronic stress, we unlock more sustainable career growth for you. Question number 2. Why is Stress Rewire hypnotherapy effective for stress and performance issues at work? So my bespoke hypnotherapy program, the way I structure it is we target and access what I call an invisible problem. So our intention is to go under the stress or to go beyond the symptoms. What traditional therapy and even traditional hypnotherapy normally do, they skip the part of investigating the problem. So usually therapy is focused on validating the feelings, let you sort of talk and repeat the same themes through different therapy sessions. So a lot of clients who come to me and they've been through traditional talk therapy, they would say that they sort of go back every time when they go back to their therapy session and they feel like they're stuck circling around the symptoms and discussing the symptoms. So we want to cut through all the symptom fluff. Symptoms are extremely important. That is what is visible. That is the pain point that brings you to seek help from people like myself and my bespoke hypnotherapy program. But that is not the real issue. The real issue, what I call the invisible problem or the root cause or the source, that what fuels the symptoms. That you can think about it as the infection in the tooth. That's what we need to focus. We're sort of looking for that metaphorical infection, and once we get rid of it, we allow for healing of that specific thing. Then the rest of the body and the rest of the symptoms will follow. So we work with accessing the subconscious information. That is the information of your emotions, the thought processes, how your body reacts to your nervous system. I get nervous system readings as well. So I'm very good at tuning into that unconscious information and reading that and investigating the real issue. So digging deeper into the problem, going beyond the symptoms and tuning in into the unconscious information of feelings, emotions, bodily sensations produced as we dig into the problem. So the subconscious is really what holds the long stress patterns and limiting beliefs. That's where it's all stored, the information. And unlike surface level techniques, we target, as I said, we want to uncover and shift the source or the root cause of chronic stress response, such as beliefs. A lot of beliefs come up, like I must be perfect, I must be perfect, I should do this or that, I can't relax until everything is done. And this makes a highly effective method for professionals who need deep and lasting results. Question number 3. What is a mindset and how does it support career growth? A mindset shift refers to a fundamental change in how you perceive yourself, your capabilities, and your challenges. For high achievers, shifting from self-criticism over responsibilizing, this is the term I created because I see it a lot, people taking over a lot of responsibility and not having discernment between what is my stress, what is my responsibility, what is not mine. So sometimes those mechanisms, they have not been established through childhood, through youth. There have not been enough emotional scaffolding, mental scaffolding for development of healthier mental models. And even though you can be a high achieving professional, but there can be those slumps in developments that through working together, we can address and isolate and target for healing. So professionals start shifting from those ineffective, deep ingrained mechanisms and mental models like self-criticism, over-responsibility, and pressure to more to self-awareness, self-knowledge, and nervous system regulation that follows as a result of offloading those deeper, sometimes traumatic mental models. And so that dramatically reduces burnout because nervous system has the possibility and the opportunity to start going through its natural stress distress cycles and self-regulate. It boosts confidence and improves decision making, which contributes to sustainable career growth. Next question. I work out regularly. Shouldn't that help with stress? Not necessarily. What I've seen is that there's been a myth going around that cortisol, which is a stress hormone, can be burned through working out. This is not correct. And I've seen it with a lot of professionals. When they understand they're too stressed, so they go to the gym and they work out intensively. So it actually creates the completely opposite result of what you want to achieve because intensive workout produces more cortisol, testosterone, and it drives the chronic stress response even further. And not just that, rigid workout can actually also lead to stress load of your body when it is already tense. So the muscles who are tense, they're not participating in your workouts. So the other muscles will be overcompensating. And that creates pain areas and stress areas within different areas of your body. Now, what works actually? Mindful, slow movement. You have to slow down, really. Walking, gentle yoga, and feeling water on your skin helps restore mind-body connection. And that signals to the brain to start turning off or slowing down the stress response. Remember, the brain is the main target of allostatic load and chronic stress response. And so this approach of slowing down, so I often forget about diets, forget about intensive workout, really try to slow down, going for long walks, long swims, gentle yoga, dancing, anything that gives you a feeling of freedom and being carefree Also put in commentary into that. That signals to your brain that you're noticing what's happening with your body and with your sensations. And again, it pushes it to slow down and eventually turn off the survival stress response. And this approach is extremely beneficial when dealing with chronic tension. Question number next. I don't know, remember the number of the question. Can hypnotherapy really change physical symptoms like muscle tension or throat tightness? Yes, the way I structure hypnotherapy for stress relief program is that we target the physical symptoms. If your representation of chronic stress is you experience physical tension, like an example of a client who was experiencing extreme choke-like tightness in her throat before a meeting. So what we did with that client, we targeted that, right? So it's usually kind of planted in emotional distress and deeper subconscious mental models that operate on the background. If you don't feel you have a right to exist, you're not loved, those decisions, deeper unconscious decisions that have been made early in life as an impulse to survive, they're quite primitive. They're not primitive in the way I sort of look down at them. No, they're highly powerful because they are catered for your survival. So respecting those beliefs and really allowing them to be processed and dispersed. So my hypnotherapy program can be a powerful tool for that. And many clients report physical relief after resolving inner conflict, such as the beliefs they're not allowed to speak up or the rest is laziness, because beliefs have a physical and emotional charge, and shifting them can ease both the body and the mind. If you are curious in exploring how my Stress Rewire hypnotherapy can help you with your specific unique representation of chronic stress, please get in touch with me. You can either check out my website. I also do a free diagnostic call to map out your specific stress symptoms and representations of chronic stress, and create a game plan, explain what program would be the most suitable to address those symptoms at a deeper level. Thank you for listening. Bye.